Hello and welcome back to Muja the Prepper channel. Here's a topic I haven't really seen. Um, Maybe it's just not discussed much in the prepper community, but it's very important. And it's the subject of midwifery. Now we know that when people panic, they start making babies because they find comfort in the arms of another. They happen. But, without a hospital, what are you going to do? Unfortunately, because of what was done to me with the human trafficking since I was a little girl, and you can watch my other channel called Exposing Human Trafficking about it. I was a breeder, and they would get me pregnant to kill the babies. And force abortions or make me miscarry or whatever. And so I learned a lot about midwifery because I went through it so many times. I learned certain telltale signs. If you can learn just the basic things, there are some channels that talk about the birthing process, so that you know what's going on. Unfortunately, all of these situations that I went through were done at home, not at a hospital. And of course, our ancestors did it without a hospital. The body is amazing. The body knows what to do. But there's just things that you need to know so that oh my God, it's now, or because you do get false labor and, kinds of drama leading up to the blessed event. So you might want to learn some of those things. If you've ever helped deliver animals, it's not that different. It really isn't. And it's not so bad as you think. I don't know. I've never had it any other way. So I don't know about the comforts of epidurals or anything else. But it's not as bad as it's made out to be. It's pretty straight up process. But still learn it. Like there's things like when you do give birth, and this applies to animals as well as people, do not cut the umbilical cord until the placenta stops pulsating. Because that placenta is still transporting blood into the baby, and the baby needs it. Learn that with livestock. Breach isn't always a bad thing. It works itself out. The body is like a machine. The body already knows what to do. And sometimes labor will stop because the baby's not in position. So don't despair over it. Just chill. Now, what I'm saying doesn't mean that it always works. And there is the possibility for loss. But interventions are not always needed, okay? So if you can learn some midwife tips, some things. Another way you know that labor is really soon is the joints in the back. They call them the sacral joints. It's in the back of the pelvis. they open up. And when you can stick like a finger or two in there, that means the pelvis is opening up. And you'll see a bruise of capillaries on the lower vertebrae of the spinal column. So that's pretty telltaling as well. Just little things like that. So if you could study some kind of midwifery course, animal husbandry, just something so that you're not like completely in the dark should the grid go down and there's no hospital to go to. Just kind of, study something on it. Maybe get some infant newborn CPR, things like that. I'm trying to think of what else. Of course, breastfeeding is always best. Go to La Leche League website. You're going to see 50 benefits to baby and mom for breastfeeding. Our society is so complicated. We've made it so complicated, and everything is just not as complicated because there's a whole industry that makes money off of it. Especially with COVID, a lot of ladies were doing home births with midwives. And just learn. Be a little nerd. Take notes. Learn everything. Get really good at one thing. Learn, from a bunch of things, but get really good at one or two things so that you can really put a lot of time into learning there. So give it a thumbs up. Comment down below. I know in the old days they had ladies that were midwives when we were living in tribes and villages. And there were also wet nurses. There are women that, believe it or not, they can make milk on demand. My grandma was like that, my maternal grandma. She was a wet nurse to the neighborhood. Because back in the day, there was no formula. And if someone didn't have enough milk, she, had them bring the child over and she'd give them milk. That helps a lot in the community. Give it a thumbs up, comment down below, subscribe if you haven't, and click that notification bell. If you know of any other ideas, good things to know about, let me know. Thanks.